Backlinks, wonderful backlinks, they're one of the main things that make the SEO world go round. But here's a little surprise for you. Did you know that loads of people fail with SEO even when they build lots of backlinks? You want to know why? It's because they don't build high quality links. You can build a bunch of links, but if they aren't high quality, you probably aren't going to see much in the way of results. Heck, you might even harm your rankings. Look, there's no getting around it. High quality backlinks are important. But how do you know if your backlinks are high quality? I mean, you build a link and then what? Do you receive a letter in the post telling you you've built an amazing link? Sadly, no such letter exists, which is a shame because that would be nice. However, there are certain tools and tactics you can use to verify the quality of a link. In this video, we're going to cover these strategies and how this all works. All of these strategies are important, but not everyone uses every strategy we're going to cover here. In fact, the strategy we cover in section number 3 is actually something a lot of people forget about, which is a shame because this is actually a very important way to verify the quality of a link. Anyway, stick around, make sure you watch this entire video. Once you've made it to the end, you'll know how to judge the quality of each and every link that is associated with your site. Let's get started. So tip number 1 is that domain rating tells you a lot. Okay, DR stands for domain rating, and it's one of the main metrics people like to use when judging the quality of a backlink. Basically, if a link comes from a high DR site, technically it's a high quality link. Now, this metric basically comes from the SEO tool Ahrefs. Whenever you plug a site into Ahrefs, you can get its DR. Now, you can actually do this for free, and you don't need to be a paid Ahrefs user to get this data. That's because if you just Google something like Ahrefs free website authority checker, you can access a free tool that will tell you the DR of pretty much any site. So for example, this is what happens if I just pop my site into this tool. 47. That's not too bad of a score, I think, even if I do say so myself. Anyway, what's important to remember here is that lots of SEO tools have a metric like this, but they might just call it something else. So like SEMrush, another popular SEO tool, has something called domain authority. All these top SEO suites might have another name for this score. And there are slight differences here and there when it comes to how this score is calculated. For example, we use Ahrefs at our link building agency simply because it tends to have the most amount of data possible, and they spend about $1 million a month trying to keep their algorithm as up to date and as comprehensive as possible. Anyway, if a website has a high score, there's a good chance that it will provide you with a high quality link. What's interesting here is that if you build lots of high DR links to your site, you can actually improve your own DR. For example, we built some high DR backlinks to this site and they went from just 3 to 19 in only 4 months. The DR increases mean that Google now thinks this website is more trustworthy. This then means they get better rankings, and as you can see, the site doubled their traffic. By the way, if you'd like us to help you achieve similar results, you can book a free consultation call with us at juliangoldie.com. Anyhow, moving on, DR and its impact on link quality is really just a small part of the story here. That's because there are a few other things, such as anchor text, that you also need to look at when judging the quality of a link. Luckily for you, we're going to cover the topic of anchor text, as well as a bunch of other important factors in the rest of this video, so make sure you watch to the end. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Tip number 2 is to check for relevance. Relevance is also important when judging the quality of a link. So all things being equal, a link from a relevant site contextually or in your niche is going to be more high quality than versus a link that literally has nothing to do with your site. Okay, but why are relevant links better than non-relevant ones? Well, this can be a little bit tricky to explain, and to really understand this, you've got to look at things from Google's point of view. So imagine there is a website in the boating niche. Suppose this site has a lot of links from other websites in the boating niche. If you were Google, you'd look at a site like this and then come to the conclusion that it's an authority in its industry. Because of this, you'd be quite comfortable with ranking this website for keywords related to boating. On the other hand, if you have a website in the boating niche that has loads of links from websites in the dentistry industry, well, that looks a little bit odd. I mean, can Google really trust a website like this? After all, how can they say that this website is an authority when nobody is linking to them from relevant articles? Like, how would you feel about this site if you were Google and you had to rank it? Would you say that everything checks out? Would you be able to be comfortable with ranking this website highly for terms that are associated with the boating niche? No, right? I mean, you'd probably be a little bit suspicious, no? At this point, you'd probably recognize these high authority links from random other industries, and you might give them a bit of weight, but you wouldn't really let them have that much impact on your rankings. All because the links are just not that relevant. It's because of this that relevance can sometimes beat domain rating when it comes to the quality of a backlink. After all, a highly relevant DR50 backlink can often be a DR60 link that is totally irrelevant. So relevance is important. But how do you check the relevance of a link? Well, there isn't really a tool that helps you do this with a ton of accuracy. And in most cases, it's really just something you have to judge for yourself, but it is easy to judge. As you can often just tell if a link is from a relevant article, if it's contextually relevant, if it's related to what your site's about. So who said that SEO is hard, right? So tip number 3 is to check the link placement. The placement of a link can also impact the quality of the link. Now, I know this sounds a little bit of a pointless detail, but it's actually very significant. In most cases, the highest quality backlinks are ones that fit naturally within the content on a page. So if there's a paragraph and the link is a natural part of the text in the paragraph, that's a high quality link. If you're wondering, these links are sometimes known as niche edits. Here's an example. Now, the alternative here is a link that's just maybe in the footer or part of the author's bio. These alternative links aren't completely worthless, and actually they're still quite good, especially if the website with the link has a high DR and is relevant to yours. But if you're just looking for the best type of link, aka the most high quality one, natural, editorially placed links are the ones you should aim for. Tip number 4 is to check out the anchor text. The anchor text of a link can also have a massive impact on the quality of it too. Anchor text and its impact on SEO is a really big topic. And to be honest, it's something that actually deserves its own video. Now, fortunately for you, I actually have a video on this topic and you can check it out here. But anyhow, let's just cover some of the brief things you need to keep in mind here. Right, so if you didn't know, anchor text is just the text people see when they're looking at a link. Here's a graphic that breaks the whole concept down. So as you can see, the bit on the left is the actual URL, and the anchor text is the bit on the right. The anchor text can be pretty much anything, and the only thing that remains the same is the actual URL of the page. This backlink profile report from Ahrefs highlights some common anchor text variations. Ideally, you want the anchor text to be relevant to your niche, or at least related to a keyword you're trying to rank for. This goes back to the relevance thing we touched upon earlier. So remember, Google is always trying to figure out how relevant a site is in relation to a certain search term or phrase. Now, one way they do this is by looking at the backlinks of a website and going over the anchor text used for these links. If the backlinks have anchor text that relates to a certain niche or keyword, Google can figure out what a site is about, and then this helps them rank the site properly. So with that in mind, a high quality link would essentially be a link that has anchor text that is relevant to your niche / keyword that you want to rank for. But you need to be careful here. And you can't just take this idea and run with it. That's because Google cracks down on websites that abuse this anchor text system. For example, there's a certain kind of anchor text known as exact match anchor text. This is basically a link with anchor text that matches an exact keyword you're trying to rank for. So imagine you sell boats and you want to rank for the term buy boats. In this case, an exact match anchor text here would be buy boats. Now, this form of anchor text can be very powerful, but having links like this can be very dangerous too. Why? Because Google started to crack down on sites that had lots of exact match anchor text when they released something called the Penguin update. When this update came out, high traffic sites that had lots of exact match anchor text basically lost rankings pretty much in an instant. So because Google doesn't like websites that have lots of exact match anchor text, you should mix things up a bit. Of course, you might now think that you have to lower the quality of your links by using worse anchor text, and you might not be happy about this. This is fair, and you might have a point here. But look, at the end of the day, it's better to dampen the power of your links a little bit if it protects you from a penalty. If you abuse the way anchor text works, you might have nice results for a couple of months, but then bam, you're going to be hit with a penalty and you'll be back to square one. By the way, if you have any questions about anchor text, please drop a comment relating to your question and I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. Right, so that's the end of this video. You should now hopefully have a decent understanding of how you can judge the quality of a link. There's a lot of information to take in here, but once you get your head around everything, this will all become second nature to you. Meaning you'll just be able to look at a backlink and judge its quality in a matter of seconds. Anyhow, thanks for watching this video, and please remember to like and subscribe. Likes help us reach more people, and if you become a subscriber, it'll be super easy for you to find out future videos, and there's no denying that that's a great thing.